Greetings and salutations, dear Valorborn. I'm here today to talk about what our big picture is, where we envision the game to go, and what will be implemented into early access, and overall what Valorborn is. Valorborn itself is an medieval sandbox RPG. We want to create a simulation that works on its own. We want all the factions, kingdoms, sub-factions, clans, guilds, etc., and smaller groups to have their own sort of agenda, day-night cycle, and they're all doing their little task, spreading out the world. And the whole spiel, the whole universe will try to simulate their interests, and we want the world itself to work on its own without the player's interference. The player then will be just the additional cogwheel that will turn and chip away on certain aspects of the game, or even, I don't know, turn the tide. That is completely up to you, how you want to play your character. In early access, we're going to have access to one of the kingdoms, from I think up to 5, maybe even more. We'll see how development goes. We have quite a few ideas, but more to that later. You can be part in one of the kingdoms that rose after the Cataclysm. I'll also involve into the lore a little bit on a different Dev Diary. And in this kingdom, their agenda is that they do not like magic. They hate it from their guts. They even have a special society of religious elites, magic haters that use rune-embedded clothing to block off magic or to nullify the magic news, and they hunt them down like an inquisitorial, fanatical group you could imagine. And I'm getting excited. I'm sorry. I really love our story that we've created, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. So the premise is you are gonna start in there. For the moment, we have some sort of pre-built, pre-designed characters that you can pick. Later on, we're gonna have the choice that you either choose a background story or you start with a blank slate. For background story, I'm gonna jump with you here into the game. And just show you. The build that I have available is an advanced build from our demo pods, because the original build is on Honor's hand. He's working on it day and night, and it's, you know, sometimes code leaves open and it's not fit to show to public because stuff is, it may be in T-poses, etc. pp. So when we say demo builds, don't get confused by that. It is far advanced from the builds that we gave out as a demo in Steam Next Fest. Speaking of, very shortly and briefly, because question happens quite a lot, we are in the thoughts that games should, period, like games should have demos, period. They should be in for any game there that's on Steam, that's wherever it is, that you have a chance to test the game, to play it for half an hour, and then decide if you want to buy it or not. You know, like, I don't know, maybe I'm old. I grew up with those demos on CDs in your magazines, and you can try out games before you can buy them. I love this premise, and we want to bring that back. So demos, yes, will be a demo of Valorborn available, probably shortly after the early access launch. With that said, coming in here, we're gonna have different starting settings. So for people who are playing this for the first time or playing games in this genre of survival sandbox, top-down controls, mix of RTS, RPG. We're gonna have a tutorial that we're gonna tailor. There's already some good basics in there, but we want to tailor it even further with you guys together, that people understand the basic mechanics of how the game is played. And then, of course, you can quickly step over the tutorial and start with different background sessions. For now, in this build that I have available here, I can either play the tutorial or go for the Alone Hero. I'm going to start quickly with the Alone Hero. Keep in mind, sometimes creation bugs happen that I have multiple characters or stuff like that. We're still fine-tuning everything on our side. So over here, we just jump straight into the character creation on Valorborn, where you're going to create whatever you see fit in terms of the face and body. And everything so far is more or less a functioning tool, but not our final product. So keep in mind, everything I show you here is not the final product. Still funny that we have a nipple scale. So that being said, in your character creator, you will have a background. For example, the former soldier or the poacher. These are for the moment pre-built background stories that we've created. Later on, you can design or create your own pre-stories or just keep it blank, and they basically give you a narrative, a storyline that you follow. So, for example, the former soldier, he loses his sword and he wants to get his family heirloom sword back to have like a little bit of an um incentive of why is your character in this world and what he or she after to go for. So we want to give you, of course, to those who don't want to be crazy sandboxy creative and start their own journey, we're gonna have some prefabs that you can just work with. I'm gonna go grab the former soldier over here and just call him Cormy or Kormaker, like my channel name, Kormaker TV, and jump in there into the world with him just to show you some basics from my side. That being said, this is kind of like the raw concept of it. We want a living, thriving sandbox RPG that is a medieval fantasy setting. We're somewhere in the mid and high fantasy balance there. So there will be all kinds of creatures. There will be all kinds of beings that you will meet. More to that in the lore video that I'm going to prepare for you to understand what is the spiel with the magic? Why is there faction hating magic? What happened before the game starts? What's happening during the game in terms of like what's the universe gonna be? But overall, here you design your character. We're also working right now that's physical stature will affect stats. So if you are eating a lot, if you are, I don't know, drinking, feasting, whatsoever, your weight will go up. You'll be slower, but also your HP bars will go up. So your chunky characters will be able to take in more hits before they go down. And then also, if they are working hard work, etc., their muscles will grow. They will be stronger. They will be able to carry more. Their hits will be harder, etc., etc. So every physical aspect and visual aspect we want also to implement into the game. As I said, pre-built. Don't mind the toes clipping into the ground. But yeah, I'll grab this chunky guy. Looks even a little bit like me. And jump right into the game. From here on, once you have access to the first kingdom, we want an voting system and a communal discussion between our players and us on a probably weekly basis, or maybe even more often, what kind of things we want to have next implemented as a feature in the game, and then have it as a communal progress from there, where you guys decide what is the next most important thing that you want to have in a game. And then bit by bit, we are moving forwards and implementing more and more until we reach 1.0 and have the big picture in there. As I said, there can happen that I'm having multiple characters at the ready. Once we have the first kingdom set in place, the intricate mechanics smoothed out and narrowed down, how they should work and how your cogwheel interactions, as I mentioned earlier, will determine outcomes of the game, then we're going to start expanding a new race, a new kingdom, new plans. The world will be quite big in the end. So to summarize it all, we want to create an playground for you guys to jump around, to create your own story, to grab your characters, to build your own little place where they will live, to interact with the world, to harvest resources, to do quests, to interact politically, to trade, to hunt, to be a thief and go around and steal and be like in the sneaky beakies and the lockpick and murder people. I don't know. You can be anything that you... We want to try to be able to make it that you can be anything that you imagine within the game. Modding and modding support is definitely on a very high priority list for us. The first modding tool that we will work on and most likely implement with early access will be that you can create your own assets. So that's, for example, when you have your house building over here, that you can design this whole spiel of how the carpenter will look like. I'm going to give you all kinds of tools where you can fine-tune, scale, and design these assets that you're going to place into the world as you see fit. If you don't like our approach and our designs, you can go nuts and do yours and share it with people, or just keep it for you. That's up to you. And that is going to be Valorborn. You have your character that you will evolve, that you will work with, that you will create, the story that you will tell. Here, quickly jumping into the inventory. We're going to have different sets of tools that you can place. You'll have an overall weight. You're going to have a lot of stats where your skills play into the things that he does. For example, strength goes into smithing, goes into fist fighting, halberds, axe, maces. These are just beginner weapons that we have implemented. We want to expand also the arsenal. Then agility goes into sneaking, one-handed sword, spear, running, dodging. Toughness goes into blocking, mining, woodcutting, building, and so on and so forth. So the more your character does in the world, the more the character will grow in its skills, the better they will perform in terms of combat, in terms of wood carving, in terms of task, what you give them. And it's up to you if you want to play as one character, as a sellsword, run around, do quests, like this guy over there, back there, will have a quest for me, and follow that path and just tell a one-sided story with one character. Or you want to recruit up to 50 people and create your own little village that will then start integrating and interacting with the world. It is completely up to you. So bottom line, we hope that this kind of creative approach and giving you a blank slate to write a story of your own will spark the storyteller in you, will encourage you to be daring and try out different things and use this sandbox spiel grounds to create your own stories, and hopefully also share it with the world and share it with us, because we're very eager to see what kind of storylines your characters go through, what happens to everybody. Because even though everybody will start at the same position, depending now on the backgrounds, there will be different starting positions in the first kingdom, and later on, of course, you'll have your race that you can pick, you'll have your different starting positions on the whole world where you can start. I can't wait to see how the simulation plays out for everybody, and I can't wait to see what kind of what kind of amazing stories will come out of it, and what kind of secrets you will unravel throughout your journey. If you make it, because Valorborn will be a harsh medieval fantasy world, and death is definitely part of it. Permadeath is definitely part of it. And it could be that your run ends because, I don't know, maybe you upset the wrong forces and they swooped in and took you out. So keep in mind, we will create a living, thriving world that will react to your actions. It won't not handhold you, and your actions will have consequences and reactions. So if you want to go around and be a murderous man who will slaughter the whole village, you can do that. Can it be then that the king or the leader of that area will come down in raging vengeance with his troops at you if he finds out who he was? Most likely. And with that said, I hope I managed to give you a big picture of Valorborn, where we want to go, and also what can await you in early access. To summarize it one more time, is a sandbox game where you create your character or your group of characters. By their actions and doings, they will grow in skill and become better at what they do. You'll have to survive, to eat, to take care of your characters. You'll have quest lines that you can follow. You can do whatever you see fit. You can follow rumors. You can follow tracks that you find that leads you to different places or different monsters or different situations. And as we grow, we want the world to feel more and more life. Politics will come in play. Religion will come in play. Magic will come in play. All kinds of intricate systems will be and are being developed right now. And I can't wait to have you go at it. April is coming out soon. And the next Dev Diary will be next Monday, talking about lore. So if you want anything specific or have any interesting or great questions, please do share them with us in the Discord. And now to a last surprise. With this video going live, we started a Google form to sign up for a closed test. So we having around, I think, 100 spots free where we can decide between high-end PCs and low-end PCs to test the game, to see what works, to see if there's any errors coming up, so we can iron out any little bump that we can until early access happens. So the early access build, when it launches, will be a smooth sailing experience with hopefully no bugs at all, and where we can then from there build the tower of this wonderful game that Valorborn will be. I think we're on a good path. I think with Valorborn we have quite a gem at hand, and I personally joined the team because I'm super excited to play the game myself, and therefore I want to do everything I can in my powers to make Valorborn the greatest sandbox experience that we can have on the market, because Unreal Engine has amazingly visual limits that we can use, and with your feedback and our skills we can create quite a gem. So jump aboard, become a Valorborn, and I can't wait to hear your stories once you get access to it. I'll see you in the next Dev Diary with more lore about the world of Valorborn. Thank you kindly, and until next time, ta-da!